Hey guys, alright, so Mommy Monday video number 2. This is going to be on some products or just thoughts that I have on the first trimester. It may even carry into the second trimester, just on like these random things. And I'm totally like spaced out. It's been a long day. My husband's sick, my daughter's crazy, and I'm tired. And then I had to run out to get something for a gift, and I got all the way to the mall, and it took me like 30 minutes to get there today. And once I got there, I realized I had left my wallet at home. I was just like, are you serious? It was frustrating. So by the time I got home, I didn't want to go out again. So tomorrow's going to be crazy busy. But when I first found out I was pregnant, I think the first thing I did was I went and I logged on to a pregnancy forum, and I posted a question because I was like terrified out of my mind. And I still post on that message board. Actually, I just love all the women. We were all pregnant together, and a lot of them are still around. But the first book that I picked up and I started to read was oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's What to Expect When You're Expecting. I grabbed this one thinking it was it, but this is What to Expect the First Year. But the book was What to Expect When You're Expecting. I'm sure that if you haven't heard of the book, you probably heard of a movie called What to Expect When You're Expecting, which really doesn't have anything to do with the book. It just has to do with pregnancy. So that book, actually, I didn't read a whole lot of it because I think I read like the first 10 pages and immediately became convinced that I had already damaged my child beyond repair. It gives you like the worst case scenarios, and it just was, I just couldn't deal with it. So I started to read, where the heck did these books go? Okay, I am so sorry, you guys. I totally thought that I had it. Anyways, it's the same maker of this one. This is Your Pregnancy for the Father-to-Be. The one that I read is Your Pregnancy Week by Week. And that's for the moms. This one's obviously for the daddy. But the Pregnancy Week by Week, I really, really liked. It literally broke it down on a week by week basis. And it would start out by telling you like what the average developments are during this stage in your pregnancy. I just found it all very interesting. It would give tips on trying to alleviate some things, questions that you may want to ask your doctor at your next appointment. I found all that really, really helpful. The only time I really kind of got annoyed with the book was towards the end of my pregnancy. It started talking about like natural birth and resources on things to check out for a natural birth. And I did want to have like a more natural birth. I didn't want to have birth at home, but I didn't want to be medicated or have an epidural or anything like that. And they have like different things like the Bradley method, hypnobirthing and stuff like that. Now, I didn't start learning about that stuff towards like the latter part of my pregnancy, where I feel like it would have been really beneficial for this book to start talking about it in like the first trimester so that you would have time to prepare, because I really feel like you need that time. And a lot of you can take like Bradley method classes and hypnobirthing classes, but they all are pretty long, like 1 or 2 months. So if I'm in like the last month of my pregnancy, I'm not going to go to a class. Hold on. Our neighbor is mowing the lawn with this little drivey lawnmower thing. Yeah, like there's just so much going on that I'm not going to be able to prepare myself the last like month of the pregnancy. And I still wanted to try to do like everything natural, but I feel like I would have been better prepared had I known about these types of things long beforehand. And I think to put that information towards the end of the book was really silly Like, why not put it at the beginning so people can start researching the different methods, things that they're comfortable with, be able to like find, you know, those books or those classes. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, here, oh, you're gonna give birth next week? Here, well, how about you start researching all this stuff? This is crazy. So that was the only thing that I didn't like about the book. In terms of just knowing like what's going on with your baby, I love it. It's not like this long, drawn out, like huge book for every week. It gets to the point. It lets you know the, it's just like the very important things. I really liked that. And there was that book. Something that I would actually recommend reading while you're pregnant is this book. It's called Baby 411. And I looked it up online now just because they have like toddler 411 and such, but I guess they have a sex and pregnancy 411 book. I haven't read that one. This one I actually didn't start reading until, what is this? What was a note? I didn't start reading this until after I had Gwendolyn, and it's really hard to read in the beginning. You are so exhausted, and for me, like, Gwen didn't stop crying for like 5 months, but I would read this like after she would go down. I would read it because I would read about the breastfeeding because I was so like I just wanted help in some way. But it's how to pick a pediatrician, sleep, first aid, fussy baby 411, detailed nutrition info, is my baby normal? So I think a lot of moms get really freaked out by the littlest things. But I think the how to pick a pediatrician part is really, really good. And it's actually, there's more notes in here. What is going on? Oh, okay. So on here, like on this 3x5 card, it says Meconium Black for poop. If baby passes her first poop before delivery, a neonatal team will attend delivery so it doesn't infect her lungs. It will discolor your fluid when water breaks. Shrinking baby, she was born with 10% fluid, will lose it over a few days. It goes on. And then like Apgar testing. I wonder why this is in here. And it's not even my writing. Maybe it's, I don't know. Okay, is there anything else in here? Anybody else wanna? Okay. Oh, you know what? I loaned this to a friend. I loaned this book to a friend, so that's probably what it is. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. So it's actually a really big book. Well, not really big, but the sections are like grayed on the side, and they have a lot. So like literally, I'll go through real quick. They have section 1321, baby preparing for the new one, care and feeding, sleep development and discipline, sickness and how to avoid it, problems, first aid, problems and solutions, the reference library. And then so the chapters, they have picking a parenting style, selecting a medical center for your baby, behind the scenes, why is my doctor so late, circumcision pros and cons, optional newborn metabolic screening, cord blood banking, yada, yada, yada. I mean, it literally goes on and on. But I mean, it covers the littlest teeny tiny things. So when it gets to how do you pick a pediatrician, it gives you a lot of things to think about that I didn't think about. So I already picked the pediatrician, and I liked who we chose, but looking back on it, I looked at this list of questions and just the things that they offered in this book. I thought it was so, so helpful. And one of the doctors is a pediatrician, and so she is giving a look on her side of the thing, on her side of the page. Gosh, I should really just like shut myself off today because I am just not doing so hot, am I? But like medications, first aid, environment, diseases, infections. This is like all like the sickness part that, because vaccinations, discipline, sleep. I read the sleep part, I think, over and over and over again because I just could not understand why we were awake all the time. Talks about poop and solid foods and formula feeding and breastfeeding and weaning and all kind. Nutrition. I think this is a really good book. I don't know if you got the point, but I think it's a good book, and I definitely recommend reading it before baby is born. Morning sickness. I felt sick all day, every day for months, like even past my first trimester. It went into my second trimester. I tried getting those like seasickness bands that you wear on your wrist, and it kind of like is supposed to hit the pressure points and help alleviate the nauseousness. I tried Prego Pops. Are they Preggy Pops or Prego Pops? I think it's Prego Pops. I got them at Babies R Us. They're supposed to have something in them, mainly ginger, that is supposed to... Baby just woke up, so I gotta hurry up and finish this. It has ginger, and it's supposed to help you feel better. They tasted really gross, and the ones that did taste fine didn't help me feel better. Eventually they ended up giving me gave me suppositories to help with the nauseousness, and they would help, but I tried to use them as least as possible. And finally, eventually I started to feel better, but it wasn't until like almost my third trimester that I stopped feeling nauseous. And then once I stopped feeling nauseous, I was like, woo, and I wanted to eat everything in sight. I hope this was kind of helpful. I know, again, it was all over the place, and I probably shouldn't even post this, but I'm not going to have time to refilm it tomorrow. You have a good nap. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling? Do you want me to tickle your back?
No.
No tickles? Okay.
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. We're not going to watch any Mickey Mouse right now, okay? You watched some earlier. Waking up from naps is so hard. So that is it for Mommy Monday number 2, the first trimester, the things that I read. And I read a lot online. There's so many resources, so I didn't have a ton of baby books, and I borrowed. So if you don't want to spend the money, you can borrow from friends, rent from the library, read online. And if you are having trouble with morning sickness and you're throwing up a lot, definitely talk to your doctor. Some people really are so sick that they aren't able to keep nutrition in their body, and they can become very ill. So definitely talk to your doctor. Don't feel like you're just being whiny, because it does happen. I think it's called hyperemesis. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I know a few people who have struggled with it. Can you say bye-bye? Do you want up a little bit? Oh, there. Can you see? Who's that? All right, well, I hope you all are having a great week, and next week I will talk about the second trimester. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.